Web 3.0, sometimes known as Web 3, is a concept of the next generation of the web, in which most users will be connected via a decentralized network and have access to their own data. Web 3 has become a catch-all term for the vision of a new, better internet. At its core, Web 3 uses blockchains, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs to give power back to the users in the form of ownership. In today's episode of Tech Talk, we will decipher the concept of Web 3 alongside its pros and cons. My name is Dorcas Yakubu Zala. You're watching Tech Talk on Trust TV. Web 3.0 is characterized by several key features, including trustless transactions, decentralized identity, smart contracts, and decentralized applications, which are known as dApps. By leveraging the power of these technologies, Web 3.0 has the potential to transform a wide range of industries from finance and healthcare to education and entertainment. Some of the most well-known Web 3.0 projects include Bitcoin, Ethereum, IPFS, and Polkadot. These projects are working to create a decentralized infrastructure that can support a new generation of applications and services that are more secure, transparent, and user-centric. The idea behind Web 3.0 was to build a more intelligent and connected web where machines could better understand and interpret the concept on web pages, and where data could be more easily shared and reused across different applications. The semantic web was envisioned as a web of linked data where information could be organized and classified in a way that computers could understand. The concept of Web 3.0 emerged in the early 2000s, shortly after the dot-com bubble burst. The term Web3 was coined from Polkadot founder and Ethereum co-founder Gavin Wood in 2014, referring to a decentralized online ecosystem based on blockchain. However, the concept of Web 3.0 shifted in the early 2010s with the emergence of blockchain technology. In 2013, Vitalik Buterin published the Ethereum white paper, which proposed a decentralized platform for building smart contracts and decentralized applications on top of blockchain technology. This marked a significant shift towards a more decentralized and democratic web, where users could interact with each other and exchange value without relying on centralized intermediaries. Since then, the Web 3.0 movement has continued to gain momentum with a growing number of projects and protocols working to build a more decentralized and democratized web. Some of the key developments in this space include the growth of decentralized finance, the emergence of non-fungible tokens, which are known as NFTs, and the development of decentralized identity solutions. Welcome back from that timeout. In case you're just joining in, it is a program Tech Talk. We now have Popola Kayode Joseph on the program, who is joining us from Kano via Zoom. You're welcome to the program.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Can you explain what Web3 is in simple terms?
Thank you for the question. In the simplest form, Web3 is the next generational internet. It's decentralized. Users have control over their data. And in this case, compared to the Web3 ecosystem, whereby we are being controlled by organization. The Web3 ecosystem, you own your data, you are in control of everything you do. So basically, it's all about decentralization on the internet.
All right, so what are some of the key technologies that underpin Web3 and how do they work together?
Okay, before I move to that, Web3 is built on the blockchain. And the blockchain is a ledger. It's a ledger where records are being kept, and it's decentralized. So Web3 is being built on blockchain, also comes with several technologies such as DeFi, NFTs, DAO, gaming, and several other concepts in the Web3 space. I believe most people must have heard about DeFi or probably might not have heard about it. DeFi is called decentralized finance. One will say decentralized finance. When it comes to the Web2, which is normal community, we have decentralized finance, whereby just like your banks are in control of your funds. They are the one that determines the maximum money you can withdraw, the maximum money you can send in a day, and they are in control of everything. They can decide to probably stop you from withdrawing money from your account, or probably suspend your account or block your account due to one or two reasons. But when it comes to the Web3 ecosystem, when it comes to DeFi, you own everything. Everything is being controlled by you. It's called decentralized, whereby you are the owner of everything. And of course, you don't need any middleman to transact or to carry out activities on the blockchain. It's all done by you and just the person you are dealing with as a third party. So, and also when it comes to NFT, which is popularly known as non-fungible tokens, NFTs are digital assets on the blockchain, which can be used as a form of ownership of something that you own. And NFTs, as you all know, it has been trending in Nigeria and all over the world. And I believe most people saw the story of the guy who sold an NFT last year of a old man eating a talking drum. He sold it as a digital asset. So someone can just see it and like it and buy it, and then he owns that digital asset on the blockchain, and also can decide to use that asset or digital asset in a museum or in a metaverse. And there are several use cases to it as well. So there are technology that emerges with the Web3 ecosystem, which I just made mention, which is the DeFi, NFT, DAO, metaverse, gaming, DeFi. There are several technologies and more keep coming up.
All right, so you made mention of users being in having total control of all their activities when using Web3. How do you deal with fraudulent activities and security on the web, since users have control over those things? How does security work?
Okay, so this is how security works. So before any application is being deployed in the blockchain, there are usually security checks. And of course, when we talk about security, we have security on the blockchain, whereby they make sure that any smart contract deployed on the blockchain are very secure before users are going to interact with it. And security claims that the blockchain, whatever records that is on the blockchain, cannot be hacked, or it can be hacked, of course, but it cannot be compromised, whereby it can change data, it can change records. It's impossible on the blockchain. The blockchain is very secure to the extent that it's been decentralized, so it's on several millions of servers, which means you cannot just change the data on the blockchain. It's very secure to the extent that whenever any interaction is being recorded on the blockchain, or whenever any block is being created on the blockchain, it's impossible for you to just probably change it or try to probably compromise it or try to do something or change the result. It's impossible. It's always secure to that extent. It was built that way.
All right, so what are some of the advantages of building applications on a decentralized web, and how do these differ from traditional web applications?
So regarding that, we call applications built on the blockchain, we call it DApp. That's letter D, then app. It's called DApp because it is decentralized application. Now, talking about the traditional application, which we refer to the Web2 application, like WhatsApp, Facebook, they are being controlled by Mark Zuckerberg. Twitter is being controlled by Elon Musk. If you could recall, last year there was an event where when Nigerians could not have access to Twitter, it was blocked. So, and also there's a social media which there is restriction geographically, which cannot be accessed. But when it comes to a DApp, there's no restriction. Every user can make use of it. No government or individual can stop from using this kind of application because it's decentralized. And one of the beauty of decentralized is that owners get to control whatever it is they do, and it works 24/7. Not like some of these applications, but at the end of the day, it might not work today, it might work tomorrow, or probably the government might see that, okay, stop these guys from using this application, and there's nothing you can do about it. But when it comes to the decentralized application, no one can stop you from using it. Everyone can have access to it all over the world. So this is one of the beauty of building on a blockchain, building a Web3. It's decentralized, and it empowers developers, also empowers users to make use of a free and fair environment. But of course, there are some issues when we are about Web3, but we'll get to that later.
All right, so you spoke about the advantages or the benefits of creating or developing apps, decentralized apps. So what are the key challenges associated with developing these decentralized apps?
Okay, here are some of the key problems you are facing. One of it is user experience. Most users in Nigeria and Africa, they are much more familiar with some of these traditional applications. And when it comes to Web3, before you be able to interact with a D app, you will need a wallet address. And also, you will need to have experience on how to probably connect your wallet address to an application, how to send and receive, how to create wallets, and some of these things. For those who are not very lineage when it comes to blockchain or IT, it will be kind of hard for them to know on board to Web3. Just like someone who has never made use of, doesn't even know what is wallet or have never interacted with the app before, and you ask that person, okay, can you just do something on the blockchain, or probably can you just create an account on this wallet, or probably something, because you will find it hard, because user experience is not really that friendly compared to Web2, whereby it's easily set up an account on Web2 app. But when it comes to Web2, before setting up account, there are things you need to do, that procedure that you need to take before setting up account. So the user friendly is one of the issues, and one of the other issues, which is privacy. Web3 was built without privacy. It's built on transparency, it's built on security, but it lacks privacy. It lacks privacy in the sense that whatever it is that you are doing in the Web2 space, it's public, everyone can see it. Which is why we have a project working on solving this problem in Web3. We call the name of the project is Secret Network. Secret Network. I work with the project, so we are much more focused on helping users being more secure and private on the blockchain and on the Web3 space, because we believe as a user should have privacy in the space. There should be some sort of control. You can decide to make this public or private.
Speaking on privacy, you said currently they are working on projects to tackle that issue. So before that project is completed, what you're trying to say is Web3 does not provide 100% privacy to users.
Very, very true. To be honest, Web3 does not provide privacy to users. It only provides ownership, control, and liberty to do whatever it is you want to do. It provides freedom, it provides decentralization, but it doesn't provide privacy, which is really, really bad. Now, let me make some analogies now. Let's imagine you have a bank account, and your bank account, whenever you send and receive money, only you know you send and receive money. The bank account transaction history can only be seen by you. But when it comes to the case of blockchain, if you have a wallet address and you send me that wallet address, I could have access to your transaction history. I could have access to the number of assets you own on that wallet address. I could have access to whatever it is you've been doing from the very first day you created that account, which makes it very unsafe for users, especially if it's person I know, and I know at the end of the day, since I could have access to your financial record, your assets, and whatever it is you on the blockchain. If it could put a target on your back, and it's not really safe, having these kind of things public to everyone to see, whereby there's no control of who can see it, who can see it, or who cannot see it. And there have been several cases of people being targeted because they know their financial record on the blockchain. Which is why we are very focused on solving this issue in the Web3 space, making sure that there is privacy. There are other references I could make regarding this privacy issue in Web3, which people are not paying attention to. Most people will be like, I don't have anything to hide. Why should I be worried about privacy? If you don't have anything to hide, don't think about your security. Don't think about your confidential information being exposed to the audio world. People don't really think about it until they probably they become a victim of this. Like on the blockchain, whenever you interact with DeFi, there's something we call MEV and there's something we call front running. So MEV, there are people that extract data from your transaction. So probably maybe you are about to buy a particular coin on a DeFi application. Before you buy that particular coin, they would have seen you try to buy this particular coin. All they have to do is to buy that same coin, then inflate the price. Then we increase the price a little bit. Then you'll be buying it at more expensive rate. It's because it's public. Everybody could see whatever you are buying, whatever you are selling, whatever is coming in, coming out. It really doesn't. It's not safe for users to really interact if there's no privacy on it. Of course, you are in control. You can decide what you want to do, but if there's no privacy in it, it doesn't make it complete. Which is why Web2 ecosystem is kind of better off Web3 when it comes to the privacy aspect. Because in Web3, nobody could have access to whatever it is I'm doing with my bank application. Nobody could have access to it is I'm doing with any fintech application, because it's all private to me and just the fintech application. But when it comes to the Web3 ecosystem, whatever you are doing, it's not private to you, It's not private at all. It's public to everyone. So anyone on the blockchain could see whatever it is you are doing. And recently, I believe you must have heard, Nigeria just approved the blockchain policy. It was approved, I think, on the 3rd of May. Nigeria approved blockchain policy, which means fintech, finance, businesses, organizations can now use blockchain in Nigeria legally. And people are excited about it. Of course, indeed, it's a great news, but there is no privacy in it. How would you feel like, being able to get all the transaction record, everything a business relation is doing? How would you feel if everything is public to the whole world? It means it's not really safe, or probably your health data being made public to the whole world to see. Something that should be confidential.
All right. So, what are some of the most promising use cases for Web3 technology, and why?
Okay, there are lots of use cases, promising use cases, and already it's been fulfilled. One of the promising use cases is, financial freedom, decentralization, ownership, control, and also communication as well, and several other promising stuff which has been fulfilled. Much more easy access to payments, being able to pay for goods and services without relying on probably the banks, or without relying on any centralized authority or organization. People that do send money from US to Nigeria or from anywhere around the world. If you are going to do the traditional bank system, you have to wait for probably 3 days or a week before you can receive money. But with the blockchain, within a second, you could send money to anyone all over the world, which is really good. It has facilitated international trade. It has helped people build much more, secure and easy way to transact. So that is also one of the beauty. I can't imagine having to wait for banks to open on Monday before I could make transaction, or before I could buy a particular commodity. It doesn't really make sense, because probably whatever it is I'm trying to do, it's beyond my limit on the bank from the bank end. Then I have to start waiting for the bank to be able to approve it. On the decentralized finance, it doesn't work that way. You own everything and you control everything. You can do whatever it is you want to do at any time. Also, talking about gaming, we've seen our Web3 ecosystem. They reward people for playing games compared to the traditional gaming whereby you are done spend your money on this game and there's nothing in return. But when it comes to Web3, they are play to earn, they are work to earn. There are several concepts in Web3 that reward users. Okay, let's talk about some of these browsers. We have browsers in Web3 whereby whenever you browse, it's safe, it's secure, and except from that, no any marketer or anybody trying to harvest your data are selling it to advertisers. Everything is private, and you even earn rewards for even making use of the browser. And also employment opportunity. I've seen, me personally, I've been a beneficiary of the blockchain, because since for the past years I've been working with a blockchain project, and we've been paid easily without having to rely on centralized organization to get our payments done. And it has created lots of opportunities for Nigerians. I've seen several Nigerians building applications on the blockchain, working with projects, financial freedom, being able to do things instead of focusing on doing fraud. You can just channel your energy into learning about blockchain, learning about Web3, learning about how to start a career in Web3. We have several careers in Web3. We are as a developer, as a community manager, as a content creator, as a graphic designer, as a videographer, and media as well. There are several opportunities in the Web3 space, which it has really empowered people, and lots of youth in Nigeria are being empowered with this Web3. So there are lots of opportunities this gives to people, and I cannot even mention everything because it's very, very much, to be honest. It has made things very, very easy to everyone. That's just the simplest definition. More easy access to technology, more easy access to financial freedom, more easy access to ownership as well.
All right. So, what are some other big challenges facing the Web3 community today? You made mention of privacy, which is one of them. So, what are the other ones, and how do you see these being addressed in the future?
Okay. So some of the other problems are user experience, which I made mention before. User experience, it's not easy for people to easily onboard on Web3. Because if I ask you, okay, if you need to send me if I want to send you funds, okay, I'll ask you, okay, send me your wallet address. And there are different types of wallet address. We have BSC, we have Ethereum, we have Cardano, we have Cosmos. There are several types of wallet address. And if you ask this person, okay, send me your SRT wallet address, the person won't even know what is SRT because he's not familiar with the space. So user experience matters a lot, which is why we have several educational platforms we have several educational platforms to educate you guys about how to get started about in Web3, how to gain knowledge. And one of the problems we're also facing is this government trying to hinder people from making use of the blockchain. And I'm happy that Nigeria has approved it and Nigeria are willing to embrace the technology to make it very easy for Nigerians to be able to utilize the beauty of the blockchain. So which makes it much a bigger step ahead. So government and user experience and privacy has been one of the issue. But since now governments are embracing it and the people are improving upon user experience, now you could easily send people using USSD code as well. I heard about this news 2 weeks ago and I was really amazed because initially the only way for you to send and receive people is by having a wallet address, or probably you have to have a wallet address or make use of a centralized exchange in order to receive that. So for making it very easy for people to be able to receive and send crypto using your SSD code, just like international banking, it's very, very good. So the user experience, people are working on it and we are trying to make sure it's easy for people to easily onboard into the Web3 space without having to stress themselves much. So yeah, I think those are some of the basic problems being faced and it's really addressed.
All right, so how do you see Web3 evolving in the next 5 to 10 years, and what role do you see it playing in the broader tech ecosystem?
So regarding that, I've seen several Web2 firms that are transiting to Web3 because I know Web3 is a future. People want decentralization. People want the power to be able to do whatever it is. They want control, they want ownership. Because like I do tell people, when it comes to Web2, it's being controlled by a government, it's being controlled by a centralized organization, which means at the end of the day, government might also tell you, okay, you can't have access to your phone again for no reason. Or probably they cannot tell you can't use this application again, or they cannot tell you, okay, as for this point, we are putting a limit on whatever it is they are doing, and you don't do about it. You have no say on it. But once you have a say in whatever it is that wants to happen, which is we have that whereby you can even vote to probably make things work or to probably kick against it. And there are other several things you can do in the Web3 space, which makes it very easy. So in the next 5 years, I see Web3 taking over everything because lots of people are beginning to transit. Lots of Web2 firms, organizations are beginning to transit to Web3 because they know that's the future. People want much more easy access to things. People want much more, flexibility, which is not possible when it comes to Web2. So in the nearest future, I don't see Web3 taking over. I've seen companies like Remita try to transit to Web3. Which I've seen several, Web2 firms. I forgot to mention some of their names. They are beginning to transit to Web3 to, make use of the technology because it's.
All right, so Popola, briefly, what advice would you give to developers who are interested in getting involved in the Web3 space?
Okay, like recently, I've seen several people from Nigeria, build applications on the blockchain. I've seen developers in Nigeria that's from Web2 transiting to Web3, and this is really nice. So for them to build on the blockchain, I would advise you to learn some of the Web3 tech stack. We have different tech stack in Web3. We have Solidity, we have Rust, we have Golang, several tech stack. All you have to do is to learn how to make use of this smart contract, learn how to build on a decentralized application. And of course, we have a different ecosystem in this space. You could build on any of this ecosystem. Like for the project I work for, currently we have an hackathon going, and this hackathon is to empower developers to build the app on the blockchain. So, and of course, there's reward for them building this app. For the we have over $50,000 reward for people to build application on the blockchain. And this is how we empower developers to build app on the blockchain. And not just us, we have several ecosystems doing the same thing to help people to transit them into Web3 to build application. So all you have to do is to probably go on YouTube or on Google, search for how to build, or just search for how to build an application on the blockchain, or probably which ecosystem can I build an application on the blockchain, and then you see several results from it. Of course, you could probably visit our website as well, which that's Secret Network. We have an hackathon going on. You could participate in it, whatever skills you have, and then join a team and then build an application. And of course, there's reward for that as well.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll bring to you tech tips. Stay with us. Today on Tech Tips, we'll be learning how to create a Web3 mobile application. Step 1. Initial phase. Any IT startup development, including Web3 mobile applications, starts with defining the idea of your project. At this stage, you and the development team meet online or offline to clarify all details of the future Web3 solution, including the business aims you want to reach and the requirements for the design and functionality. Step 2. Develop the technical documentation. The second stage of a mobile application with Web3 solutions involves creating a software document or technical specification. It is a development manual for the upcoming product that explains the business logic, including everything from defining the technologies employed, deadlines, budget, and even risks. Step 3. Create the Web3 application prototype. Developing the Web3 solution prototype is one of the most crucial development stages since the interface design defines the entire project's success. If the users do not like the interface or find it complicated and confusing, they will delete the application and never use your product. Also, they might leave negative feedback. To avoid this, your development team must study the competitors and the target audience to understand the taste and requirements of the users and implement it according to the technical documentation of the project and trends in design. Step 4. Approving the final UX/UI design. The application prototype developed in the former step will help the UX/UI designers create each tab's design, agree on it with the client, and test it on a focus group representing the target audience. Step 5. Initiate the development of the application. There are several scenarios for this stage. First, you might start agreeing on the concept, namely developing the minimum viable product, which is MVP, that will prove that your idea functions and there is demand. Second, you can start developing the complete Web3 application that has all functions, integrations, and design solutions. Despite your choice, the developers of the Web3 application will need to develop front-end and back-end. Step 6. Testing the product. Quality assurance is an important step at every stage of development for a smooth product launch, especially in the case of creating applications that handle money and business user data. Testers and Q&A specialists use manual and automated testing to check various vulnerabilities. Step 7. Develop the Web3 application. When the development of a Web3 mobile app is complete, it's time to deploy it to the cloud and publish it to the Apple Store and Google Play. But before that, you need to make sure that your mobile app meets the requirements of these app sites and prepare information about it. And finally, step 8, product support. Post-launch support is not mandatory, but is strictly recommended if you intend to improve and develop your project. You can set up the support work either through an internal team or by agreeing with your application developer. And that's how we wrap it up today on Tech Talk. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Join in next week, same time, same station, for a fresh edition of the program. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. Goodbye.